yeah, my career has been leading me through China in many ways, and Trolltech in that regard has been a very special experience. I mean, we've taken really Qt to the embedded world in Asia. I mean, first and foremost, I mean, I think there we had by far most of the customers and the most interesting implementations, which eventually led to what we are seeing now. So I'm very honored to have been part of that enterprise. So in a way, and what I'm doing now is very much what I think is a straightforward extension of what we did there. I mean, it was helping customers to use Qt, to implement it, and to build something successful out of it. Just, I mean, now the field of what Tieto is doing is of course a bit bigger. I mean, Qt for us is one part of the big puzzle. But yeah, let me get into it if this thing allows me to do so, which is not always the case. Anyway, so let's start with some corporate facts. So it's good before I start talking about detailed stuff, maybe have a few words about the company that I'm working for. So why Tieto? What is our justification for being on this planet here? So Tieto has a very special niche, I would say, in the supplier universe, in the sense that we're very focused on R&D. So I mean, we are among the top 3 partners really for R&D development. I mean, for the likes of Nokia and NSN, Ericsson, so on. So we have a big footprint in that of experience and people. And I mean, talking about mobile R&D, we have 1,500 people under arms, so we can wage a war with that kind of legion. And yeah, we offer solutions for really not just one platform, but for a whole a spectrum of things. So I mean, we are of course customer driven at the end of the day, but we are happy to be able to handle all of them and having our views focus on the future, so really see what's coming down the road and to be part of that. And of course, I mean, in the context of Qt, we are an alliance partner, which I think is the top of the peak when it comes to partnering. And I mean, we are very happy to work with Nokia in that respect. So we of course already have a very strong alliance. And yeah, so talking about customers. So when we talk about problems, customers, I mean, really is, I mean, have you ever considered, mobilizing your solutions? I mean, a lot of companies are out there, they already have a substantial infrastructure of things. And the question is in the next step, so can we take this mobile? Or how can we take it mobile? So, and this is a thought process that we see a lot happening these days. And of course, with any company, I mean, there are limitations as to what kind of technologies you already know, what are you familiar with. And it's hard to always have everything in-house. I mean, you cannot possibly have, engineering teams for every platform out there. So in that sense, having a company that has all of that portfolio does make a lot of sense. And of course, it's all about cost, time to market. All of these things are meant for us to help you getting there faster and reducing your cost. So, and yeah, once you know what the burden it is to manage a partner network, we've done this for years. I mean, that's how we breathe and live. I mean, we've been partners with for many organizations, and we do that on a global basis. And so, our invitation, let us guide you for anything that you may plan to do in the mobile world. So, and I mean, we are not just focused actually on the telecom and media space, but we have a whole portfolio of expertise. And that starts with financial services. It goes to telecom and media. It's energy with all of its big solutions, manufacturing, which again, is a total different area, healthcare and welfare, and public sector. So all of that is part of what you can find in Tieto, and it's even being inside Tieto. It's really it can be very confusing to find out what's really happening in that huge universe. But the leverage is there, and I mean, finding the right people for us is you know, it's certainly easier. And I mean, putting that onto one slide again. So when we talk about mobile solutions, we can do that. I mean, in all of these sectors where we actually have the domain knowledge to make the solution. So to put that a bit more into perspective, so what we can do is, for example, or what we have done is things like CoInnovation Services, where we really, as a partner, very much on the same level as our customers, meaning that we think about a solution and design it partly together with our customers. And I mean, it's not just that we're doing the back work, but we are also in the front in the design process. Smart applications, meaning that a lot of customers that we are dealing with, I mean, they want to cover the entire market spectrum, not just one platform. So for us, the challenge is really how do we do that across the board? I mean, we have in the market, we have the iPhone, iOS, we have Android, we have S60, we have Qt, and all of these things need to be addressed if you want to be really present in the market. So smart applications for us really means that we design those applications in a way that you know, we can somehow implement them easier across the board. So that is smart. Mobility for marketing and branding is you know, taking it one step further, where we're also talking about, you know, brand building, web presence, web portals, and all of these back-end infrastructure that I mean reaches out to you know, everything that you do if you are present on the internet, an internet-enabled company. So and there, I mean, we can cover the whole range from, you know, the internet portal all the way to the mobile. And business accelerators, which goes very deep in the enterprise space. You have, I mean, all of these fantastic IT infrastructure sitting there. I mean, in your office, the intranet, your customer database, your email services, your communicators, whatever. So all of these things, taking them to the mobile, that's what we call business accelerators, because it eventually enables your workforce in ways that hasn't been possible before. So it's really a combination of deep domain knowledge and global expertise. Putting these together is, I mean, what we can bring to the table. So, and offerings in that context, just to mention briefly, these slides, by the way, they are designed in a way that I get inspired by whatever happens. So the slides are talking to me, and I try to wrap them in words. This is greetings from Keynote. Anyway, so applications is obviously, I mean, one of the straightforward offerings. We do have, for example, an application factory. The name already indicates that, I mean, this is meant for scale. And this is one of the operations that we have in China, where we can basically take customer requirements and do implementations on Android, on iOS, on Qt, and do that on a very, very cost-effective price level, and of course with the necessary expertise. So I mean, we're talking about 800 people in China that we have. So around 300 of those are in mobile devices R&D. So, and that I think is a good workforce to count on. And I mean, offerings go, of course, beyond applications. There's, I mean, this wonderful world of solutions. Tailor-made solutions, of course. I mean, meaning, you know, everything that it takes from the mobile device to the back end to put a solution together. And I mean, when that is sufficiently successful, we even have products that we can offer to our portfolio. And I mean, especially in the networks R&D business, we do have some very established offerings there. So that was the advertising part. Thank you very much. So now I would like to show a couple of concrete examples about what we're doing with our customers. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that we do, you know, we can't really share. So I mean, this is one of those things that that have passed the strict views. So we are able to share this, and yeah, so every solution starts with a problem. So where's the problem in that particular case? So you have an address book, but your address book is not all-knowing. So there's always unknown numbers. So somebody calls you with an unknown number. are you taking the call? And is it spam? Is it serious? Is it your mother-in-law, or is it somebody? Is it a business call? So, and I mean, yeah, it boils down to what's really in your address book. And considering the amount of information that's out there, accessible through the web, why not just implement that in a mobile solution? So we identify the caller through searching YellowPages, and if you want, you can update that information in your address book, and all of that in real time. So it's not, you know, you're taking the call and then you're saving the address. It's while the call is going on, and that is the thing I'll show you in a minute. So I mean, solution diagram. It's not very complicated. So it's a mobile client, it's a mobile network, and it's a fat server sitting there with all the wonderful information that you can imagine. And these YellowPages are there for anyone to use. And this is the way it looks like. So on a device, I don't know how that comes across, yeah, the limited contrast. So it's basically about, I mean, straightforward YellowPages search. Of course, you can go into the application, just search for a name, and you'll you know, get this information about that particular person, and you can integrate it to your contacts. So that is a very useful thing. So we've implemented that actually with a Finnish YellowPages page, and yeah, here just to demonstrate that these things actually show up in your address book. So and now it's the really nice thing here is the real-time search. So this phone is sitting there, and there's somebody's calling. The number is, you know, any number, not identified, and then you see on the top there searching for the name, and here you have it in real time, found from the database. So this is a pointer that I can use. Hopefully, does it point anywhere? Ah, there's a little dot. So that was cute for YellowPages. Another beautiful, really exciting project where we had also participation also from China is Qt for mobile TV. So the obvious problem, you have an established service, a web TV type of service that has, I mean, all the offers all the video feeds from off a website. So you can go and click your way through these tabs here. And I mean, there's quite a lot of these kind of offerings. This is a particular Finnish company named Yle Arena. So they have they had this thing running live, and the problem really is, how do you do that in the you know, how do you bring that experience to the mobile, and then across the spectrum? So you want as many customers as possible to join in that service. So you have the particular A platform, you have the I platform, and the Q platform, and the S platform. So whatever these letters are, whatever they stand for, these are all out there in the market. And I think we've done a really nice job in implementing them. So what you see here is essentially three types of applications. So you have one for the standard mobile TV offering. Here is one that is particularly geared for kids content, and this is an integration into your home screen. So you always have this little widget here telling you what the latest feeds are if there's a new feed coming in, and you can launch the application right from the home screen. So what do we have? It's feature-wise, really, it's a mobile TV, but not just for video content, but also for audio and podcasts from Yle. It's available right now based on Qt S60 iPhone and Android platforms. It provides a four-way scrollable list, and the interesting thing here really is that the build-up of the menu is done dynamically during runtime. So it's not like you have some new content and you need to push out a new version of the app, but these tabs are generated dynamically based on feeds. And so whatever the content does on the back end, the mobile client adapts dynamically. There's space for some language localization, so we have both country and Western right now, so meaning Finnish and Swedish. So, but that's of course true to the nature of the customer. And it includes a home screen implementation and an extra app for children content, so that these guys stick with what they are supposed to see. And what I show you here is the iPhone implementation, because iPhone enables us to do like really nice screenshots. We have the same app also based on Qt, and I think we have it here on the with the Tieto colleagues. So we did the same thing in QML actually. So this is our latest implementation of the service, actually I need to check that out myself. I think that this is a very good thing, and it fits very well with the spirit of the times. So basically here you can see the tabs and I mean the content that you're scrolling through. So this is the way that you would perhaps expect any mobile TV client to work, but I think graphically speaking it's very appealing. Here you have, another choice of audio podcasts that you can stream to your device. And eventually, we're starting a movie. So we can, of course, have it in both ways, horizontal and vertical. And running the content as you would expect. Finland and Russia have been traditionally close allies in some ways. And of course, the same thing running on the iPad with a bit more real estate. I don't know, the iPad is kind of made for TV purposes. Very nice. So kids content. Okay, so that was an example of what we've done in the mobile TV space. So now we have, again for something completely different. This is, Tieto. We have like so many projects going on at the same time in so many different areas. And if you have 1,000 people, running around doing things, you end up with very kind of different solutions. So this is an idea that we've had when it comes to mobile customer support. And here's again how we start. Is the problem. So smartphones create, everybody who manufactures smartphones can knows about that. It creates a high load on support costs. You need to be able to solve all those problems. Put them on the web, and the information really never is where it should be, and it's a quite bulky process to create all of that support. Of course, adding to that problem is that smartphones are getting more and more complex, and more focus is required on user assistance. People buy phones who are perhaps not expert users. They need to be guided through how all of these features work and what can be done. That is a growing problem, and at the same time, phone models being based on similar platforms. You have whatever, you have Android, so and so many phones running on Android. You have so and so many phones in the future running on Migo and Qt, and so there are certain common problems that appear on the platform level. At the same time, you want to sort of differentiate yourself from your competition through new services, and all of these things are addressed by this solution, which is basically, put it in generic terms, create highly configurable support services. So what does that mean? We have created a channel to basically enable support organizations to feed their customer support content to the phone platform. And this information is always up to date. It's dynamic. So you don't end up with like an application that's been installed on your phone once and then the content always is the same. But it's a dynamic customer support client. And on top of that, it empowers the user through self-support. So the user is getting encouraged to actually explore the phone by himself through that particular client. And you're running into the obvious questions. The universe of questions, of course, endless. But these are like one of the most frequent ones: accounting and billing. what's my account balance, how does that function work, what's, I have whatever problem with my phone, and if you are part of an enterprise organization, how do I connect to my company functions? So all these kind of features need to be addressed. And so this is what we have created as a response to that. So it's really about a dynamic system, as I said. So it periodically displays messages coming from the support organization. It links you to web resources. It creates. It has a wizard that is smart enough to find the answers to your questions. It also detects system issues, crashes, reports them back to the support organization. It gives troubleshoot suggestions. It's and it actually there's this little idea of also encouraging the people to support to explore the phone themselves. There are like usage points that a user can get for exploring new features. So basically making it more interesting to also use that kind of solution. So I mean, at the front, it looks like any other app. It's based on Qt, and this is how it looks in the front. In the back, it's a bit more sophisticated. I mean, you have the whole support organization with its huge database, tips and tricks, troubleshoot information, and promotions, user feedback. All of that builds up. All of this data sits there, and on the other end, you have the SupportScape client. That basically that's what the end user sees, and in the middle, you have endless amount of things going back and forth here. You have events, messages, surveys, wizards, user behavior, apps, and so on. So it really, the bottom line is you don't need to wait for the next software release to update your support information. It's built in, and it's a great resource. I mean, for manufacturers of phones, I think this is a great idea. And taking it to the next level, Tieto, of course, we thought this through to the end, would be putting that service into the clouds. I mean, that is how we perceive the future evolution. I mean, this whole cloud topic is, of course, a very trendy word, but what it means basically, it is IT as a service taken another step forward. And it supplies, I mean, capacity platforms, whatever. At the same time, of course, there is a legacy infrastructure that needs to be maintained, and so adding a cloud to that kind of architecture is the next step to do to stay in the market and remain competitive. So it's just adding to what I already said. So all the wonderful things are coming together for the end user. It's a relief for the support organization. It's a plus for the end user. It's a better user experience, and after all, for the brand, it reduces churn by being able to provide a better service. So that was another example of a mobile solution that we have in the works. Of course, we're also playing around a little in our own labs when it comes to Qt. So we need to flex our muscles as well, getting to know all the latest and greatest features. So we've played around, of course, with the latest QML here, for example. I mean, this is a particular implementation that we've done entirely on QML. So this is a kind of memory game where you need to memorize two pictures that are the same. These pictures are taken in from Flickr, actually. So every time you play it, it's different. And the goal is once you have discovered, memorized two pictures, then, I mean, these disappear. So I mean, it's just a small game, but still, it shows, I mean, how fast you can do that. I mean, using QML, I mean, we did that in a couple of days, and I'm really looking forward to getting more things done with QML. It's amazing if you do anything with UIs. This thing is a great thing to have. Here's another example. By the way, all of these examples you should be able to find at the Tieto booth. This is an OpenGL Cube that we did. So what this cube does is it basically, it displays Twitter messages on each face of the cube. And these Twitter messages, you can use a hashtag to get the streams straight off Twitter. And then, you know, just playing around a little bit with what you can do. So also there, I mean, it would be interesting to see once you have, I mean, 3D and QML put together. I guess these things become fairly trivial to do. Right now, I mean, doing all of that really based on OpenGL, it's still, you need to do a lot of importing and I mean, getting the mesh in and then rendering the whole thing. And you really need to do it per device. I mean, OpenGL is a little bit different on each implementation. So this is, of course, on the N900. But considering, I mean, what the phone is, when it was designed, I mean, I think this is already a respectable output. So, and I mean, over the time, of course, we are also doing UIs for all kinds of purposes, just to demonstrate. I mean, you know, what UIs can do on Qt. And these are some examples here. I mean, this is like just simple applications, data calculation. But I mean, if you add a little bit of design work there, these applications immediately become very interesting. So here's a random coin toss that that we did. It's just a ruler application and a timer app. I mean, these kind of scroll wheels. I mean, you know them from the iPhone. There's nothing to stop you from doing the same thing with Qt. And I mean, of course, once you have Qt components on QML, I mean, I guess these kind of things will be easier and easier to do. I would expect to see like drag and drop type of templates eventually to make that work really easy, and then expand the portfolio to way beyond what Apple is doing. I mean, Apple is giving you like a handful of templates that you can use for numeric input, for example. But I mean, QML doesn't have any limitations really. Once you have elements enabled there, there's anything you can do. So just coming back again, summarizing a little bit. Mobile solutions, what's in there for you? I mean, it's about profiling your company as a forerunner, making mobility part of your business. It's about cost, time to market. Ways of working is important. I mean, success with agility, flexibility, and if that guy at the end of the day still smiles, I think we are all happy. So just a little bit about where our muscles are. So we can do both nearshore and offshore. Nearshore, of course, depending on where you are. In nearshore for us means mainly Europe. So we have, I mean, Poland, Czech Republic as obvious nearshore locations, and of course, I mean, Finland, Germany for customers in that area, and then offshore, meaning India, China. So China, we have around 800 people. India, some 200. And yeah, so that was a little bit summarizing the whole thing. And the question is there a question? Thank you. Please. I need something to drink. That's what I know.
I need to be careful that I use it right. Concerning your ServiceScape application or service, what you presented before, you showed Qt on Android there. Are you using some kind of Android port of Qt there, or was it just
it wasn't meant to be that way. I mean, we did it on Qt. So if it looked like an Android app, then...
yeah, you were showing it on an Android phone, actually. So.
Okay.
And I think you were also saying it's on an Android phone, so I was just wondering what this is and what was the part in Qt.
We haven't made any strange ports there. I mean, the reason for that may be that we didn't have another picture. So that picture fit the purpose in the best way, but no, we haven't done any secret ports in that way. Thank you very much for your time and patience. Okay, my pleasure.